All right. Go back to screen share. All right. I want you to make a list, right? Because the theme of this Saturn in Pisces transit is also forgiveness. The reason why it is forgiveness, because without forgiveness, it's hard for us to let things go. Okay. The whole 12th house dynamic, which we're going to talk about too, is all about that too. All right. It has a lot to do with things that you have a hard time releasing. Okay. So this energy, this portal, is about forgiveness so that you can usher in new energy. This next level that you need in your life, whatever you asking, whatever you're requesting, if there's more money, movement, a love relationship, whatever the dynamic is that you're wanting to happen, is behind this forgiveness piece. Okay. And again, this is a 3-year-long transit, but the bulk of it, the beginning of this energy is asking for you to clear the karma. So we're going to get into that. So that's why I want you to make a list, or if you don't have a list, if you have issues surrounding your parents, you can just stop. You can start or stop there. Okay. If you don't want to get into the depths of all the people that you may have had issues with in your childhood, growing up or whatever, or people that you may be having issues with now, the parent situation, you know what I'm saying? And when I mean parent situation, you don't have to be feuding with your parents to have things like resentment towards them, right? Or like for me, wanting my mom to be something that she wasn't, right? So when we start to get into these things of how we would like to see people, or wishing we had a different relationship with our parents or our family members, all of this is energy that I'm talking about as it relates to the karmic imprint that you and your family are carrying. Okay, so making that list is going to be really important. So when we get into the ritual tonight, or we go through it, right? Because I'm going to walk y'all through what I started doing yesterday, because my ritual is going to be 3 days long. So I did did some stuff yesterday. I'm doing this with you guys, doing some stuff tonight when we finish class. And I'm also grounding tomorrow, going to the beach tomorrow to ground and release the energy. So it's a process, right? It's something that I want you guys to start to get into. So even if you find yourself in resistance to this class, to this information or whatever, it's okay. Because again, Pisces is where we have a hard time letting go. So anything that I may say that may trigger or make you feel some kind of way, it's okay. I'm here to hold your hand. We're all in this together. I've told y'all several times, even though this is something that I do, I study astrology, it don't mean that I'm exempt from these transits. I still have to deal with the same energy. So because I too have to deal with these same energies, I want you guys to understand that sometimes I find myself in resistance. So it's okay. But again, I'm here to hold your hand and walk with you through this process so that we can all not only clear the karma, but start to get the things that we really do desire in life. Okay. So if you haven't made that list, you can make the list during class. You know what I'm saying? As we're going through, whoever or whatever comes up for you, make the list so that when you start to get into your forgiveness releasing ritual tonight, you'll know exactly who you need to put in mind to offer forgiveness to, and to also receive that forgiveness from. Okay. I also ask you guys to look at where your Saturn placements are. So if you just so happen you didn't get the email, go ahead and look at your chart now, because I'm going to ask you guys where your Saturn placements are, right? So I want to know what sign you have in Saturn, or what is your Saturn sign. And I also want to know what house your Saturn sign is in, okay? I also want to know your Pisces placements as well, and what house your Pisces placements are in, as well as what sign you have in your 12th house. All of that information is what you're going to be studying. If you haven't already, you're going to be studying that tonight. The next couple of days, I want you to kind of really submerge yourself into this energy and use this portal of opportunity, along with this illumination of the full moon in Virgo, to allow you to really get the work in. Okay. Virgo is work, right? And so since Virgo is work and Virgo is breaking things down, that's what we're here to do. We're here to break down this energy so we can know, why are we carrying it? Why am I dealing with it anyway? Why is it on me to do this stuff, right? It's on you because you got the power to do it. You wouldn't be in this class with me. You wouldn't have signed up for this class. And for those of you that are my monthly clients or whatever, my seasonal clients, you wouldn't have been on this package with me if you didn't know or be in alignment to the fact that you know that this is the work that you have to do. Okay, this is your charge. This is what you signed up for as it relates to the person in your bloodline to be able to offer this release, offer this forgiveness. Okay, so we're going to get into all of that as we're moving through the class. All right, so this is what your chart should look like. So if you have time passages on your phone, I need you to go to this screen. Okay, so your name should be at the bottom of your app. Click on that and this should give you your full screen of where all your placements are. Okay, and that's going to help you. So when I say where is this and where is that, you can look at it. Okay, if you don't have time passages on your phone and you've done a session with me, most of you guys on this call have already done a session with me. So I mean, you should already have this, a screenshot of what your chart looks like. So either one of these two, you're going to need for class. So if you do not have it already with you in class, I need you to go and get it, okay? So that as we're moving through again, and I'm asking you these questions, so you'll know where you need to go and study, okay? All right, let's get into it. First things first, the basics. Full moon in Virgo, right? So let's look at the characteristics of Virgo, right? Because this is the opportunity space, meaning that the full moon in Virgo is helping us to work on this dynamic of Saturn and Pisces, right? Virgo is the polar opposite to Pisces. So every month when you are in the constellation of that sun sign, it always has a polar opposite to an energy that's helping it, right? Or what I like to call the mirror reflection. So you know how sometimes when you're standing in the mirror, everything looks flipped around? Well, that's what polar opposite energy is, okay? So if we're dealing with the full moon energy of Virgo, what's looking back in the mirror at us is Pisces, okay? But when we're talking about Virgo, we're talking about the energy dealing with Mercury. So this is all communication, right? So another part of the 3-day ritual that I want you guys to do, if you so inclined see yourself to do it, is to reach out to those people that are on the list, right? The reason why I want you to reach out to them is because Mercury and communication is a big part of this. And we're not reaching out to them to have any type of response. We're not looking for a response as it is. We're looking for communication. We're putting the communication sector in there. Why? Because this Virgo energy is about that. It's about communicating, allowing yourself to break the energy down. The key word for Virgo is analyzation, right? So the breakdown is to analyze the energy of what's going on. Virgo rules the 6th house. The 6th house has everything to do with the house of health, okay? And because it is the house of health, whatever you have an issue with, if you're having a hard time communicating, or you're having a hard time breaking down communication, or having a hard time dealing with the energy that you're dealing with, meaning like you're like, I don't understand, I just can't figure it out. All of those are things that we would say when we're having an issue with breaking things down. When that happens, we tend to have issues with our digestive system. Why? Because Virgo rules the digestive system, okay? So from now moving forward, you know that when you are dealing with any digestive upsets, you're dealing with your Virgo placements, okay? So where are your Virgo placements? Where do you have Virgo in your chart? Put it in the chat for me, okay? Because wherever you have your Virgo placements, this is where the moon in Virgo is having its conversation. It's starting to communicate with you first in these Virgo placements, okay? Virgo is an earth sign. So I want y'all to get out, okay? Get into nature. Get into the grounding. In order for you to ground this energy that we're going to be releasing today and for the next couple of days, it's going to be important that you put yourself in nature. So that means, you know, going out, maybe hugging some trees, taking your shoes off, walking in some grass, okay? But the things that allow you to ground is getting in touch with the ground. Virgo rules that energy, okay? So if you don't have no plants, this will be a good time to go and get some, okay? If you haven't, again, been outside, this is a great time to go outside. I'm going to the beach. Where you gonna go? What you gonna do to ground the energy, okay? You gotta get outside. You gotta ground and put this energy back into the ground. If we're going to release it, the way you need to release it is give it back to the nature. Give it back to God, right? God is nature. Give it back. But if you don't go outside and spend no time looking at trees or experiencing nature, then again, this is what will allow you to stay stuck in this energy because you're not releasing it, okay? So another thing about Virgo energy is that the mode of it is mutable. And it has a lot to do with details, okay? Meaning that when it comes down to how we look at things or break things down, it's all about the details. It's also about service to others or helping others or working with other people, okay? Sometimes the Virgo dynamic can have an issue with being very judgmental, and a lot of that comes from Virgo learning how to work on its own ways of communication. So one of the things I want you to be mindful of, especially in this full moon energy of Virgo, is be mindful of your judgments, okay? Be mindful of how you look at somebody else, and when you look at them, you got something to say because you think they should do A, B, C, and D. That's judgment, okay? Because whatever tool or whatever measure you judge somebody else, the universe is going to judge you by that same measure, okay? So spend this time having empathy and compassion for other people versus trying to put them in some type of box of judgment. It's not necessary. We are releasing, and everybody got their thing. We all got something that we're working on, and because we do, we ain't got the time or the space or the opportunity to judge nobody else. We got to work on our own self, okay? Let me look at what y'all say y'all Virgo placements are. We are recording. Thank you for checking, though, Naomi, because you already know, girl. All right. Okay, let's go down. All right, 9th house. Okay, then. Moon in Virgo, Naima, and your rising sign. Okay. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and 12th house. Share, you know, me and you already know. 11th house, Mars. Okay, no Virgo placements. Okay, so Chris, if you had no Virgo placements, tell me what's in the 6th house, because 6th house is ruled by Virgo. So tell me what's in that placement. Okay, James says Virgo in the 10th. Jamaica said her Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter are all in Virgo, and it's in the 4th house. Okay, let me see. Okay, Katira says her chart says Virgo in Midhaven, so that's Virgo in the 10th house. Do you have any planets in Virgo, or that's the only Virgo you see? Candace said no Virgo. Okay, so Candace, same thing for you. Look at your 6th house and let me know what's in your 6th house. Okay, other than that, no Virgo. Okay, Chiron 2, that's a big one, Tamara. Having Chiron 2 in that placement is really huge because Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is really digging you deep into releasing a lot of things. Aquarius in the 6th house. Okay, so for those of you that I just asked these questions and y'all replied, Aquarius and Cap, okay? So that's what you're going to study in relationship to the full moon Virgo energy, okay? So if you want to know where the full moon Virgo is talking to you directly, that's where it's dealing with you at, okay? In your Virgo placements, all right? All right, Jordan's in her moon, got her son. Okay, and we already know Julius that's his son too. And I'm pretty sure he got some other Virgo placements in there too. Okay, so this is study number 1. Okay, so if you want to know what the full moon, the conversation of the full moon with you, which is the full moon in Virgo, look at your Virgo placements and look at your 6th house placement. Okay, so whatever you got in the 6th house, study that. And whatever the energy is or where your Virgo energy is, just go and study it. So you literally is going to either go into your chart and open your chart up and read that placement. Your 6th house is blank. Okay. So tell me what's your rising sign? Because whatever your rising sign is, I'm gonna tell you what's in your 6th house. Midhaven and Virgo. Okay, so that's also dealing with your social responsibility as well. Okay. All right, so let's go into the next thing, which is moon in Virgo. All right, let's talk about that a little bit while y'all still telling me about where your placements are. Also, make sure that, again, that you take note of what you have in the 6th house. The 6th house is just as important as your Virgo placements. Okay. All right, so let's pull this up. All right, moon in Virgo. So today the moon is in Virgo. Did y'all see so I've been doing these moon sign Mondays to make sure that whatever the moon is in on Mondays, I've been sharing it. So I did a whole little post about the moon signs and that kind of stuff, right? So if you are a moon in Virgo or whatever, I can also send you that too. But it just breaks it down. You can literally just look in your chart and it'll definitely tell you. But moon in Virgo has a lot to do with details, okay? Extremely organized, being hypersensitive. It also is a craving of structure, reliability, trustworthiness, and also sometimes it could be a need to please. So sometimes there's energy in you as you're shifting, you can feel that dynamic, okay? Now, people who have moon in Virgo can tend to be perfectionists. So for those of you who said y'all moon's in Virgo, it's the perfectionist energy, and sometimes you can tend to overthink, overprocess, become a hypochondriac. Sometimes you tend to overthink. So you have to watch your anxiety and watch your worrying, because it can sometimes make you feel like you're all over the place, or make you feel like you are a little bipolar, all that kind of energy, because it's like trying to manage this vibration of going back and forth, okay? But it's just about the details. You're breaking down the details, okay? And sometimes when you find yourself overwhelmed or find yourself all over the place with the details, you can tend to get a little bit judgmental and combative. So that same characteristic that I told you about Virgo still apply to the Virgo moon. The only difference is we're talking about the actual emotional energy of it now, right? Because the moon is the emotion. So meaning that as we are dealing with this full moon in Virgo, we're talking about the emotional side of Virgo, okay? And how that emotional side of Virgo is ushering us in to this Saturn dynamic in Pisces. What is it asking us to do? Get very detailed. So why you think I told y'all to make a list of the people that you needed to talk to? One of the Virgo's keywords is list. Okay, so when a Virgo finds itself, no matter where it is, whether it's in your sun, moon, Mercury, I don't care where Virgo is. When Virgo finds itself in a state of overthinking, the anxiety or the panic, the best way, or one of the ways that you can do to get the Virgo to ground outside of going outside, is make a list. Make a list of what needs to be done, and then do it one by one. Because if you start to think about all the things that you need to do, or you are just overly processing all of the things, this is only going to add more anxiety and more stress. And eventually what you wind up doing is you wind up doing nothing, right? Because you're just so overwhelmed. So we got to manage this emotional energy as we are purging and going through this shift in this energy. Understand that this Virgo moon is allowing us to be able to break these things down in detail to help us to work with the energy and work with people. Okay, so do as much as you can to make sure that you are grounding it and you're not allowing it to put you in a state of anxiety. Okay, and if you feel like you need to purge, so purge can also look like, if the tears come up, let them flow. Because definitely part of tonight's ritual, I definitely want you guys, when y'all are releasing, to let the energy out. Don't hold on to this stuff, because holding on to it is going to grow into other things. What other things am I talking about? Disease, okay? Discontentment in the body, abnormal growths in places where you don't want it to. All right, understand that this energy is going to show itself one way or the other. So your job is to usher with it, use it as best as you can. Okay, but understand that this Virgo moon is about listening this energy out, breaking these things down, and allowing yourself to little by little see how it is that you can emotionally confront these spaces so that you can release them. Okay, let me go back to this chat really quick. All right, let's see. Okay. Place 2. Okay, Sag rising, which means you guys. So, Katir, you got Cancer in the 6th. Okay, so if you want to know where you need to work the energy, no, not Cancer. So that will put Gemini in the 7th. Which means if we go back up one placement, that would be Taurus. Okay, so Taurus for you in the 6th. Candace, what did you? No, you're Sag rising. Oh, both of y'all are Sag rising. Isn't that crazy? So both of y'all Sag rising. Both of y'all say y'all 6th house empty. No, it ain't. It ain't empty. You got Taurus there. Okay, so part of the homework of studying is knowing that in the 6th house, you're going to study that Taurus energy. Okay, so literally typing in Taurus in the 6th. Okay. All right. So let's look at the full moon energy for today, right? So the intense energy, how is everybody feeling? Okay, how are y'all feeling about this energy today? Are you feeling pressure, anxiety, stress, release? Give me one keyword of how you're feeling today. One keyword. How are you feeling? Hopeful. I like that, James. Exhausted. Okay. Releasing. Great. That is really good. Overwhelming. Okay, comfort. Calm, excited, anxiety. Michelle, me, you had our session today, so I know you would be calm. Okay, excited, anxiety. Okay, anxiety, that overthinking, over processing, excited. Yes. Okay. All of these energies, okay, because it's an intense time, right? It's an extremely intense time in our world. There's so many placements that are also combining with this. So like we also got Pluto switching into Aquarius on the 23rd of this month. And even though we are, you know, not there yet, we are approaching it. Okay. So it's a lot of, this is one of, if not the biggest transit that you guys are going to deal with in your lifetime, is definitely one of them. So meaning like these two places between this Saturn and Pisces energy, and definitely this Pluto switching into Aquarius on the 23rd, this is a lot of energy. Okay. It's a lot of energy for our world. Our world is changing. Okay. Whether you believe it or not, it's not going to look the same like it looked next year. It's going to be a totally different place. Okay. And the best way for you to deal with all these changes is to not panic, okay? Not overthink, to submerge yourself into who you are, your creativity, get to know who you are more, okay? Because the more you avoid yourself, the harder this transit is going to feel, the more worried that you're going to feel, the more scared that you're going to feel. But the more you tap into how you are feeling and tapping, like even keeping a journal, right? Having a daily journal is really important right now so that you can start to manage what it is that you're going through, okay? So that you can get it out too and not just hold on to it. So it could be an array of emotions. The reason why I asked you guys to tell me, because it could be any of those things, all that stuff that y'all said, plus more. And it could shift. You could be feeling excited in the next 30 minutes. You could be feeling overwhelmed, okay? All of this is a normal energy as we're working on breaking down the vibration of what's going on, okay? And because this is the thing, I want you guys to make sure that y'all are prioritizing yourself, okay? So prioritize your rest, your relaxation. Y'all already know that Pisces is the energy of self-care, okay? For those of you that did the seasonal readings with me, I told y'all that this month was going to be a lot. And I told y'all to make sure that you were increasing your self-care. So regardless of what you've been doing for the beginning of the year on self-care, I need you to increase it. So massage therapy, acupuncture, chiropractor, like all this body work stuff, I need you guys to go, okay? Stop putting it off for later. It's very important that you do it so that your body can also release a lot of this energy, okay? Understand too that as you are releasing this stuff, again, there's going to be emotions that come out of this. So crying is normal. Don't think that you're bipolar just because you're going through crying spells this week or in the coming weeks, because all of that is a part of releasing the energy. Again, 12th house Pisces is where we get stuck the most. So as this stuff is coming up, as you're getting body work, as you're starting to tap into this stuff, you could be feeling all kinds of energy. You know what I'm saying? Take note of it if you can too, even though we know today the moon is in Virgo, as we shift out of Virgo and into Libra and into Scorpio and into Sag, make sure you're writing down how it is that you're feeling as you're going through it, okay? So that you can understand that we're wrapping up the 2020 year. Y'all know that the spring is literally the new year, okay? And because it is, this is the winter season. And in this winter season, we purge, okay? So this is the end of the purge. So because it is the end of the purge, a whole lot of feelings and emotions are going to come up because you are purging, you're releasing and getting yourself ready for the spring, okay? So you can expect, you know, a lot of dreams. I've been dreaming every day. Okay. I've been taking naps because we've been working out consistently over the last 9-10 weeks, and your girl be tired. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give me a little 20 minutes in, but the moment I give me 20 minutes in, oh, them dreams are very deep. But the Pisces energy rules that. So especially on this Virgo full moon energy, you tonight expect dreams. Tomorrow, expect some dreams. Why? Because this energy is definitely dealing with you. The new moon in Pisces is going to be on the 18th, 19th. So from now up until then, a lot of changes and a lot of dreams and a lot of downloads, okay, you're going to get. And as that comes in, I want you to also usher and use the Virgo energy, which is organizing, declutter. For those of you that did the declutter detox with me last month for that 28 days, this is now wrapping up the energy I told you guys to go through each room and pull out the things that you didn't need, all that kind of stuff, and donate it. This is going to be the week y'all need to donate, okay? Get the stuff out. Release all the things. So decluttering, organizing, detoxing. Actually today wraps up my 7 days of detoxing. Me and my friends, we have been cleansing for the last 7 days, eating clean foods and drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated. So all of this stuff, even though you may not have done it for the last 7 days, do it now. Okay. Why? Because you get more clarity. Your intuition is louder and stronger when you go on this journey, when you start to honor your body more, okay? If we are always eating heavy foods or eating sweets and eating meat and all that kind of stuff, then your body at some points, it gets tired. It gets overwhelmed and overworked. So going on a cleanse or doing a detox is only going to allow you to release all that stuff from 2022 into 2023. You need to release that. Okay. So let's not take into the spring. Let's not take any of that old energy into our spring. Okay. Let's spring forward in the energy that we really need to spring forward into by allowing ourselves to cleanse. So even if you do something, just drinking more water, okay, for 3 or 4 or 5 days, even though you may drink water now, increase it. Do more flushing of your body and your cells so that you can get more into alignment with what you're feeling and how to really use that energy. Okay. Along with this energy too, is going to definitely come with profound insight. That's why journaling is going to be your friend, as well as clarity with relationships. Okay. Resolving conflict, healing emotional wounds. Okay. This is starting to sound a lot like Pisces. It is. Okay. Overcoming irrational fears, releasing resentments, old memories surfacing, reminiscing about the past. Okay. So understand that your vibration is asking you to release all that stuff that's coming up, and all this energy that you are really facing right now is because of that. It's because it's time. You're going through a major transformation. And with that major transformation is all of this. Okay. So the conversation that you're having, the things that are coming up for you, don't dismiss it as just coincidence. Ain't nothing coincidence right now. Okay. Everything that's showing up is showing up for a reason. It's because that's what you need to really deal with. Okay. All right. Let's look at the chart really quick. All right, I want to talk about just the organs, right? We already talked about the digestive tract, the digestive system, but some of the other areas that you can feel this energy inside of can be your pancreas, your small intestine, so meaning your bowels, or the way that food is moving through your body. That's the energy, okay? That's how you're dealing with the energy. So depending on whether or not it's something that you are struggling with, so all those keywords I asked you guys how y'all were feeling, that is going to determine how your digestive system moves and how the other parts of your body move as well. Small intestines, the colon. So if you are a person that does colon cleanses, this will be a good time to do one, okay? If you're not into colon cleanses, again, do a detox, drink more water, and take in more fiber, okay? All this is going to help you to flush things out, as well as your rectum, the sense organs, your eyes and your ears. So like, I was having some ringing in my ear on this side before I left the States. When I got here, ringing was gone. Today, the ringing came back a little bit. I was like, Well, I know what this is. I don't have to guess where this is coming from. I know exactly where it's coming from. It's all the energy, me being in tune, the clarity, and all the things that comes along with it. So any of these organs or any body energy that you're dealing with, know that this is what it is, okay? It's the energy of this Virgo full moon along with this Saturn and Pisces energy in general that's also giving you this vibration, okay? Now, during this week, not that y'all got any surgery lined up, but if you do got some surgery lined up, this is not a good time to do it, okay? That's the reason why I like this Moonseek website, because not only does it give you like break down some of the energy of what's going on, it also has on the side of it, if you have to go and get, you know, surgery done and things like that, that can be major stuff to the body, it gives you those days that are best, right? Based on the energy is what it's giving you, okay? All right, the chart. All right, so this is what the chart looks like for today, okay? And because this is what the chart looks like for today, you know, we all know that we're in the sun sign of Pisces. The moon right now is in Virgo, right? Mercury energy is also in Pisces. Venus is in Aries. Mars is in Gemini. Jupiter is in Aries. Saturn is in Aquarius. Uranus is in Taurus. Neptune is in Pisces as well. And Pluto is in Capricorn. Okay. So again, all this energy is important because it helps us to see the conversation that we're having. So look at the wheel. Look at where most of the conversation is, right? It's between this Pisces placements shifting into Aries and shifting into Taurus, okay? So a lot of this vibration or the conversation has a lot to do with endings, okay? We're ending cycles. That's the reason why the theme is forgiveness, because you're moving on. You're going to a new level. So we ain't got no time to be mad on the things that didn't happen, or the people that we're not dealing with anymore. You know, we don't got no time to deal with that. Why? Because we're ushering into a new level of things. So this Pisces energy is letting us see where we need to end things out, okay? So the Saturn in Pisces is coming along to make sure that you uphold the structure of that, okay? And putting you in the spaces that you need to really see where you have been hung up, where you have not or been refusing to change. A lot of us know what our problems are. We just don't want to do it. That's Pisces too, okay? Being stubborn, you know what I'm saying? My father is a Pisces. So being stubborn sometimes, right? Holding on to things for way longer than we need to. Most of the water signs have an issue with that. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio all have issue with sometimes staying way longer than they need to, okay? But it's okay, because part of that staying a little bit longer also helps us to actually usher into a new energy, okay? But recognize that this energy is coming along. So not only is it just the sun helping us with the vibration of what the moon is asking us to do, but also Mercury. So that's why, again, the communication, Mercury rules Virgo. And because Mercury is in the sign of Pisces, we're having the conversation about where we need to release. What do we need to let go? What have you been hanging on to for so long that's been getting in your way, right? Why are you blaming an energy when you know part of it is what you've allowed to happen, right? So this conversation is about what you have allowed yourself to hang on to, because for many different reasons, right? One of the things that Pisces sometimes have a hard time letting go of is because it doesn't like to be alone. It has an issue with aloneness. And because it has an issue with that, sometimes it'll keep doing things and repeating cycles and going over and over and over again when it knows it needs to let something go, okay? Pisces also has an issue with illusions. So sometimes you make it something that it ain't. It ain't that, okay? And it's clear that it's not that, but your illusion person that wants this to be so will put those things into place. That's not the truth. Can we find truth here, okay? The truth will set you free, right? So the whole energy of realizing that escapist energy that sometimes Pisces can have, and the illusion energy of that, you know what I'm saying? Always wanting to be in the dream state, in the dream world, will get in the way of your progress, okay? So we're going to use this energy as we shift from now into the Aries season, because when we shift in the Aries season, we're going to also shift nodes, okay? So right now, we're still in our Taurus, Scorpio nodes, but in a minute, we finna shift into our Aries and our Libra nodes, okay? So because we're shifting into those nodes, a lot of this energy that we're also releasing is going to usher in our new experience when it comes down to where we have to deal with when it comes down to our node energy, okay? Our nodal energy. All right, so this is the chart. You'll see what it got, a lot of things. You can see that even the elements, we got 7 placements in fire, 7 placements in air, okay? 5 placements in earth, 8 placements in water. So this is water energy the most right now. So crying, getting into water. Again, I'm going to the beach. What you about to do, okay? Can you at least draw you a bath, put some water in the tub and go get in it? Because that'll also help you to release this energy too, okay? Get in the tub and just a lot of the ritual work that we're going to do tonight, you can do it in the tub, okay? But make sure that if you're not putting yourself in the water or in the bodies of water, drink water, okay? Water is going to help to usher this energy in, all right? The fire and the air part of it means that it can be combative. You can be a little hot-headed around this time. You can be argumentative, okay? And that air just gonna fan it. So the moment you get hot-headed or want to argue and fight, just know that that air is gonna match you, okay? And as it matches you, it's going to bring you to a point to where you need to give it up, where you need to realize that fighting ain't gonna help you, okay? If you've been fighting, that's not it. Again, that's the reason why forgiveness is the theme, because there is no fighting in forgiveness. There is 0 fights in forgiveness. Meaning when you offer that up, ain't no fight in that. But when you don't want to, you want to be a victim, or you feel like you got villains in your life, that's a fight. That's what that is. That's not going to help you with this Saturn and Pisces placement for the next 3 years, okay? Saturn is your discipline. It's going to help you to structure this energy out, all right? Let's get into the Saturn. All right, let's talk about it. Saturn, okay, structure, law, restriction, discipline, responsibility, obligation, and ambition. Now, I told you guys, again, those of you that have been working with me for the longest, and especially if you did your 2023 chart, I told y'all that this is the year of discipline. This is the year of structure and the year of getting it all into alignment, okay? So if you enforce your discipline and enforce your structure, you're going to have one of the best years you've ever had in your life. Because along with this shift of our world, especially the United States is going through a Pluto return too. So with the shifting of everything that's happening, the more disciplined and the more structured you are to yourself, the more you lean into your ambition, lean into your gifts and your talents, lean into your responsibility, the easier these transits are going to be. But if you're fighting any of it, you know, you got your old ways, you're not doing anything, you know what you need to do, you make promises to yourself that you keep breaking, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult year for you, you know what I'm saying? On all ways, money, you know, opportunity, because this Jupiter energy being in Aries ain't playing with you either. So a lot of this vibration, you have to realize that if you're going to lean into any placement for this year, lean into your Saturn. Okay, study your moon and study your emotions so you'll know why sometimes you are resisting your structure. Because if you want to know why you're not doing the structure, it is your emotional health. It is your mental health that's preventing you from doing these things. So if you study your moon sign more and see how that is incorporated into your life, it makes it easier for you to do what you know you need to do, which is your discipline, which is that energy. Okay. So study your Saturn, see what that Saturn energy is, take that on full force and get disciplined. Stop with the excuses. They have timed out. We don't have no more time for that. If when you say, oh, I'll do that later, later is here. Okay. So if you're not doing it now, then whatever the energy that you have to deal with as a result of you not being disciplined to yourself, that is going to be the action that the universe is going to render you. Because we have timed out on that, okay? This transit, again, happens every 2 to 3 years. That's the reason why the Saturn and Pisces energy is 3 years long, okay? Because this is the transit that we're dealing with. So anytime you think about Saturn, I want you to think about structure. I want you to think about discipline. And I want you to process this throughout this entire month, right? And continue on. Don't stop thinking about it. Think about the fact of staying on top of the things that make you activate your discipline too. So working out, eating right, okay? So if you've been eating terrible for the last 3 years, ain't the time to do that. No more eating terrible, okay? No more just junking off in your body. This ain't the right time to do that. Because right now, whatever you do is going to grow and fester, and the illusion is going to take over when it comes down to that, okay? Structure, law, restriction. Saturn also deals with your restriction. Think about it like the drill sergeant. Think about it like going to boot camp, right? When you go to boot camp, don't nobody want to get up, 5 a.m. and work out. We don't want to do this stuff. But what is the result, right? Just in the 10 weeks I've been working out, I put this dress on. I'm like, hold on. This dress looks different. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's been about the discipline and the structure that I've been putting in. And I ain't stopping no time soon. So y'all can go ahead and prepare to be sick of me because it's coming. All right. So if you thought I was fine, if you had in your mind, that ain't it. Okay. I'm going to show you what fine is because I'm staying disciplined to this. My Saturn is in Virgo and it's in my second house. So because that's the case, the more I work out, the more I structure my food and my diet and how I communicate and break things down and take the list and follow the list. Gigi, these are the things that we got to do. Stay on top of that. Stay on top of my time. The more my life is going to be balanced and structured for me. Okay. You need to do the same thing. Do what you need to do for you. All right. Because ain't nobody going to force you to do it. The time is up for that. It's about you being your own drill sergeant. It's about you making sure that you get up every day and look in that mirror and say to yourself, I'm doing this because I need to do this for me. It ain't about nobody else. I don't care about what nobody else think about this. This is about me, okay? So Saturn is going to be your best friend when it comes down to these next 3 years, okay? But definitely right now, if you just do it right now, get yourself into it, then you'll get into the routine of it because it's another thing that Virgo likes, right? Virgo likes repetition. So the more you do it, the more it becomes habit. And when it becomes, they say it takes 28 days to develop a new habit, right? I already did that. 28 days I've been working out. So in that 28 days, I'm already in it. It's in the psychosis of my mind now, right? So even when I wake up, I think about working out, right? That wasn't the case last year or the year before. I had to put myself in the spaces of that, okay? So listen to your Saturn, right? So I want y'all guys to write that in the chat box. Tell me where your Saturn is. Where is everybody's Saturn? What is your Saturn sign? What's your Saturn signs? All right, all right, all right. So we have, okay, Cap in the first house. Wait, Naima, yours is in Sag? Yes, Sag. Cap in the first house, Scorpio, Saturn in Sag, okay? Saturn in Aquarius. So Giants, that Saturn in Aquarius, that's what we shifting out of into Pisces. So Saturn deals with Aquarius in a different type of way than it deal with Pisces. It's going to be a different feeling when it comes down to structure and discipline. Virgo in the 12th house, Pisces in the 5th. 4th house, okay? Jordan's in Pisces, in Sagittarius, okay? Cancer, all right? Saturn in Pisces, Virgo in the 4th. Mine is in Virgo in the 2nd, okay? So wherever your Pisces, your Saturn energy is, this is what you're going to study, okay? Because the Saturn energy, the Saturn and Pisces energy is talking to your Saturn, okay? Capricorn, okay? It's talking to your Saturn dynamics. So whatever house is in is talking to that dynamic as well, okay? So your bulk of your studying of how to get disciplined, how to get structured, how to get in alignment to what it is that you need to be focused on when it comes down to the Saturn dynamics is studying your Saturn sign, okay? Now, when we talk about the Saturn in Pisces, right? Again, this is the transit of it. From March 7th, which is today, until May 24th, 2025. Okay. And then it's going to take a break for a second. You know what I'm saying? Do a little whoop-de-woo and go backwards. And then it's going to come back again on the September 1st, and it's going to be there until 2026. Okay, February 13th. So you see how long this transit is? It's a long transit. And because it is a long transit, what it's doing is it's bringing order to a lot of chaos. So a lot of things that our government has been up to, a lot of things as it relates to just the world, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this is going through a clearing and a cleansing, okay? It's being watered, it's being washed. Pisces is the wisdom, okay? So keep in mind that we just left the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, right? Well, Pisces has a lot to do with this water energy, okay? So how we take in this watery energy and use it. This is what the whole energy of Saturn and Pisces is going to go through too. So a lot of our systems, a lot of the old ways and things that we have been accustomed to, our religious practices and all those things, a lot of stuff is going to be exposed, okay? A lot of exposure is going to come out of this energy, right? But it's stuff that you've been needing to see, stuff that we as a world been needing to see, so that we can, again, get more into alignment and more into the vibration that we came here to deal with, okay? So it's going to feel a little bit more watery, okay? A little bit more illusionary. It can also feel a little bit more escapist. I urge you not to escape from these transits. I urge you not to escape from yourself. I do urge you to tap in. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back to the water thing, I encourage you to tap in. If you are a person who believes in mushroom therapy, you know what I'm saying? I encourage you to take a journey, okay? I encourage you to step into, because something about the mushroom that make all this watery, okay? You wind up crying and not knowing why, you know, but it definitely has you tap into the deepness of yourself. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It taps you in. So one of the great things for you to do, and if you need some education about that, I don't have no problem sending you that, okay? I will send you the information you need as it relates to psilocybin and mushroom therapy so that you can tap in, because it's definitely going to help you with getting into the wave, okay? One of the energies too, we have to be mindful of, we got to use our medicines with intention. So just popping it just to be popping it, that ain't no different than you popping a perk, okay? If you're doing it just so you can escape, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you to do mushrooms and psilocybin therapy to escape. I'm telling you to do it with intention so you can tap in, okay? So intention, set and setting, all these things are extremely important, okay? But that's definitely a therapy that I would recommend you tapping into so that it can allow you to really get into the wave, okay? And to see where your chaos is. The mushrooms will talk to you and tell you what you've been doing, okay? Even when you don't want to listen to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But it will tap you in. Yes, ma'am, you got to set intentions, because intention is what drives the medicine. The therapy comes from the intention. When you don't have an intention to it, then it just seems like you're just doing it to just be doing it. Okay? Now, Saturn and Pisces, your tendency to think that your life is out of control is based on an unreasonable fear, probably connected with an unfortunate experience with the person who fulfilled the father figure role in your early life. So learn to take responsibility here and now for your own life, not having unrealistic expectations about the people in your life, especially your God figures, okay, your elders. That's why, again, forgiveness is going to be a biggest thing with this, okay? Or karmic releasing of this energy, okay? Remember that the people in your life are human. You're human. You want compassion. You want people to forgive and release and all those things. So in order for you to do that, you have to step into that as well, okay? When you get confused or uncertain, try to simplify your lifestyle. Things will then become easier to bear. So meaning that simplifying, fine-tuning, decluttering, releasing old things is going to be extremely important to this energy, okay? The reason why is because the more you release things, the more you create space, okay? Tell me what you guys got in your 12th house. What's in your 12th house placements? Whatever you got in the 12th house is what you have a hard time letting go of. Okay. What's in the 12th? What's in the 12th? Cancer, Aquarius, Libra, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Sag. What I got a hard time with though? Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna tell you what that is. Is that it? Where everybody else at? What's in your 12th house? Comfort, was that really a question for me? Or was that just you being like...
Oh, no, that's really a question. I'm like, because it's such a dark spot. I can't see there.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because 12th house is the darkness. Okay, it's where you go to hide anyway. Okay, so when we think about Sag, right, and what you have a hard time letting go of, one of the things that Sag is ruled by Jupiter energy, right? And because it's ruled by Jupiter energy, it's about making you big, right? And not hiding at all. But having Sag in the 12th house means you're hiding from the bigness. You're hiding from being huge and being so big and being the teacher and being the leader and traveling to do all these things. So when I say you have a hard time letting go, you're having a hard time letting go of the fact that this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be big. You don't have time to hide, right? But the 12th house is where we can tend to have an issue. Mine is in Cancer. So sometimes my issue can be me thinking that I got to save my family. Okay. So part of what I'm going to get into in a minute and show you guys like the messages I sent out to them, part of my ritual release with my family is apologizing for some of the things that I've said to them because I thought I was trying to save them. Okay. So me having a hard time with realizing that my family is human. They have stuff to go through, and it ain't my job to save them. It's my job to give them love and compassion, and it's my job to hold their hand as they go through that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So do you see now? Are you brought to light?
Oh yeah. And when we get to the end, I'm gonna tell you about how that and the forgiveness is all tied into one. So I'm gonna share a little testimony at the very end.
Thank you. We love testimonies. We love them. All right. Cancer in the 12th. So, Chris, you heard I said about that Cancer in the 12th? And that you can't save them? Let me go down and see what you said. Okay, great. You got to let them go, but at the same time, letting them go because it's Cancer and it's nurturing energy and it's womb energy. You know what I'm saying? It's realizing you got something to nurture. Okay, that beautiful baby girl's one. You got something to nurture. The family dynamic, the family energy in this, that ain't your responsibility. All you can do is give them what you can when they are ready for. Whatever they're not ready for, we don't have to feel bad about it. We don't have to feel bad about where we came from or feel bad about what our families were not able to do for themselves, okay? We got to let that go, because if you don't let it go, that Cancer energy, you wind up dealing with all kinds of degenerative diseases because you're holding all that energy in your body. Okay, so letting that go. Aquarius in the 12th has a lot to do with definitely being all in your head. Okay, there's it not being afraid to go into the future of things, you know what I'm saying? But also know that this next level, this next wave, when it comes down to definitely to friendships, you got to be mindful of that. You got to be mindful of how you attach yourself to your friends or the people who you think that are your friends and trying to save your friends. Okay, you can't do it. And you'll find yourself having a heavier weight trying to do that. I can't see y'all messages on the bottom, so I'm not going to scroll down. I'm going to go through these and then I'll read it on the end. Libra, relationship. Okay, so that relationship identity, what you feel relationships supposed to be, and not just loving relationships. I'm talking about all of them. Okay, relationships, partnerships, you know what I'm saying, as well as anything to do with how you're balancing out that energy, how you are taking care of yourself versus how you take care of others. This is a space where you are struggling, okay, or where you are resisting to letting things go. Okay, let it go and get to balance. And getting to balance looks like what is the relationship like to yourself? What kind of relationship do you have to yourself? Okay. Leo in that same placement, heart chakra, okay? And letting go of the judgments that you received, letting go of the energy as it relates to you being on the stage and not hiding anymore from the stage. You know what I'm saying? Putting out there the content and the energy of things that you know you need to put out there. It's been a long time coming, Naeem, and we've been talking about this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's letting that go, breaking up with that energy and doing some heart repair, right? Like getting deep into that energy and realizing that a lot of things that may stop you or where you may feel your blocks are is surrounding that and not wanting to show yourself because of the judgment that you've received already, okay? Virgo in the 12th, the judgment, okay? The overthinking, the anxiety. Let go of the overprocessing. Just do, okay? When you get to a point to where it feels like it's so much going on and you processing, you're doing too much, you're not getting nothing done, okay? Let that go, release all of that energy and go ahead and do what you need to do. And you're going to automatically start to feel better because the Virgo energy needs to work. It needs to put itself to work. Okay, so when you feel like you're not working enough or you feel like you're doing too much over processing, get into the work. Go work out, go take a walk, go into nature. Okay, do things that allow that Virgo in the 12th house to be satisfied. But you overthinking and over processing and just being stuck in a space, that's what we're talking about when it comes down to how this subconscious mind can work. Okay, Scorpio in the 12th definitely has a lot to do with energy of things that could be family related, you know what I'm saying? So it could be some family secrets. It could be some things that happen, right? Now, James, me and you done talked, and we've been talking about this placement too, you know what I'm saying? On this energy of the old things surrounding the parents, right? Some of the things that they may have done in your childhood and letting that go, because without doing that, it starts to internalize as fear in other places where you don't really have fear. But it's just because when you're dealing with that vibration and not realizing how you're dealing with that and carrying that, it grows and festers into other things, okay? But Scorpio is about death and transformation. So let that stuff die so you can transform it into something else, okay? All right, so let's see. Katia, you had Gemini. Wait, what did you say your rising sign was? Sag? So Scorpio, and you did say Sag rising, right? Okay, I'm super new to this. Looking at my 12th house. Yours is going to be in the same place as Katira's in, because I think both of y'all said that y'all are Sag rising. So if y'all are both Sagittarius risings, and again, we're looking at whole signs when you're going down. So what y'all are looking at is your chart, and it may not be any planets there, but it's still, your wheel is still moving, okay? So if you got Sag as your rising sign, which means Sag is in your first house, that means in your 12th house, if you go back a sign, it's Scorpio there. So what I just told to James about releasing, especially things dealing with like parental stuff or any type of hidden secrets that may be in the bloodline, in the family dynamics, you know what I'm saying? That's what you want to go to release. And you want to transmute and transform that energy. Scorpio is all about the transformation, okay? Not releasing that, not like holding on to a lot of those things will grow fears into other placements. The Scorpio dynamic does have a lot to do with the sex organs as well, okay? And a little bit of the kidneys. So you'll start to know if you start to have issues dealing with your kidneys or start to have issues dealing with your sex energy or dealing with your sex organs and that kind of stuff, it's coming from the Scorpio placements. It's coming from that Scorpio dynamic. Okay, so that's for you, Candace, and that's also for Katira too. Both of y'all, I want y'all to study your Scorpio in the 12th. All right, Michelle, the same thing I just said for Libra to Tamara's the same thing that I'm saying to you. Okay. Who else? Let's see. Jamaica, Taurus. So Taurus in the 12th house, letting go of wanting things to already be given to you. Okay, meaning when it comes down to anywhere we got Taurus in our chart, has everything to do with where we think that we should have it already. So in this life, you feel like I should already have it, right? So a lot of that feeling that You're supposed to have it, prevents you from using the energy that you've been afforded. What I mean is Taurus, no matter where it is, always has the opportunity of receiving from people. What I mean is the Taurus in the room is going to always happen to draw the guru. They get the lessons from the guru. They get taught. And then a lot of stuff that the Taurus energy does get, it does not pay for. Okay. But the issue is the Taurus doesn't use it. So some of the things, the gifts and talents that you have and that you've been afforded, you're not using it. You're not using it because you already want it to be given to you already. And you have to tap in, because part of that energy in dealing with the Taurus is continuing on the bloodline in the state of royalty. Okay, so using that energy. And if you keep waiting on it to be done for you, or I'm supposed to already have it, you're not going to use your gifts and talents. And what you don't use, you lose. Okay. All right, so Jones on the search. Okay, I want y'all to look at, so Gaia, tell me what's your rising sign again, and tell me what Julia's rising sign is. I think Julia's rising sign is Scorpio. So if his rising sign is Scorpio, then that means his 12th house is going to be in Libra. So what I just said about the balancing of relationships, all of them, not just your love relationships, but all your relationships, business, everything. Okay. You got to be mindful of how much you give of yourself and how much you don't take care of yourself. Okay. So that whole vibration. But yes, so tell me whatever your rising sign is, I can point you. So whatever your rising sign is, just go back a sign. Okay, so whatever you got in the first house, just go back. Meaning go back to the sign before it. And that's what the 12th house is going to be inside of. But if you want to tell me to, I'll let you know. Okay. I'm not leaving you alone, Crystal. You already know, baby. You here with me. Okay. Okay. Venus in the 12th house. Okay, Venus could be in the 12th house, but I still need to know what the sign is. What's the sign of it? Right. So it should be Scorpio that should be there. I'm not reading y'all for filth. Y'all get on my nerves. You know why you here, okay? Saturn in Aries, okay? Jordan has Saturn in Aries, okay? What is the 12th house in? That's what you're feeling now. Yep. Libra in the 12th. You heard what I said about Libra in health. So Julius his rising sign is Scorpio. So yes, so his 12th house is going to be in Libra. So again, what I just said about the balance in the relationships, yours is in Gemini. So that means your 12th house, if we go back a sign from Gemini, what do we go into? Taurus. Okay. So that Taurus energy and the vibration of that, like I was just saying earlier, use the talents. Okay, use the things that you've been afforded, right? The rooms that you've been able to be pulled inside of, and all the talents and things that you've learned. It's time for you to step up and use those things. They're going to bring nothing but riches and royalty. That's all it's going to bring, okay? But sometimes when you have that Taurus energy in the 12th, you can hide from it, okay? Taurus love to hide sometimes, or this is the most famous line I hear the most from my Taurus, and Comfort Kid confirm this. I'm not ready yet. I don't think I'm ready. Wait a minute. I still got to go over here and do this. No, you don't. You already got enough. Okay. So ain't no more waiting. Now is the time to really use that and be confident in the fact of the things that you can use. All right. Which is those talents and those gifts and those things, those rooms that you've been brought in for all that knowledge. Okay. It's time to step into that and not just hoard that information. Okay. Use it. Use the talents that you got. Okay. Understood. Yes, ma'am. All right. So 12th house energy, and for those of you that I didn't get to, if you placed it on there, let me know and I'll come back to it. 12th house represents the subconscious mind, the accumulation of unconscious memories and experiences. It governs karma, issues left over from another life that you must atone for, or the spiritual debts to be paid. So whenever y'all hear me talk about North Nodes and South Nodes, and I say, well, South Node is pretty much your last life. It's what you was dealing with the most, right? Well, so is the 12th house. The 12th house has a lot to do with that too. So whatever issues you come back here with, one of the main issues is what's in your 12th house. Okay, is this wanting things, or wanting the access to certain things, or wanting to say whatever I've said to you? Okay, your 12th house is part of the issue. It's part of the thing that you came here to heal and to release and let go of, okay? It describes sorrow, your suffering, your limitations, your seclusion, your restraints. That's the biggest word. What's in your 12th house is what you feel like it's a restraint for you, okay? It's not a restraint, especially if you tap into it from a different perspective and realize that the Pisces energy, which is what rules the 12th house, is helping you to learn how to take care of yourself. Pisces can tend to be the savior. The 12th house can tend to be where you decide to save everybody else at the expense of yourself. So whatever you have in the 12th house, that's your way out. It's your ticket. Okay, use what's in the 12th to free yourself versus using what's in the 12th to escape and to live in the illusion and to not do what you need to do because you're too busy doing it for everybody else. That's what Pisces loves to do. I love to call Pisces the Captain Save-A-Hoe, okay? And now that ain't nobody hoes, but I just like the term of it. You know what I'm saying? You saving everything else versus saving yourself. That's what this is about. This life, save yourself. Do what you need to do for you. And if you want to help other people, help them by being an example, okay? This don't mean that you can't handhold, because I told y'all I'm handhold. We're all holding hands right now, okay? And because we are holding hands, realize that what's in the 12th house is for you to embody. It's for you to step into that. And when you step into it, it allows you then to bring other people in based on the visual of it. Let them see you, okay? And not just feeling like you're sacrificing yourself, because Pisces like to sacrifice itself, right? So that it can do for other people, because it feels like if I do this for you, then you're going to ride with me. I'm not going to be alone. And that's not the truth, okay? You're going to have to face aloneness at some point. How do I know that? You came in this world by yourself. Even twins come in here one by one. Okay? So at some point, even when twins sitting in the womb space together, when that first baby leave out, it's in the womb by itself until it comes out. Okay? So understand that aloneness is a part of the process. Aloneness is how you hear yourself. Aloneness is how your intuition gets loud. Okay? So during this process, as we're stepping into this restriction and the discipline and all the stuff we need to do, aloneness is important. Okay, you get too many people around, or you always got people around, you always listening to something. That's the reason why vows of silence are so important. That's another thing that I would like for y'all to do. One day, vow of silence. Get quiet, get alone, get by yourself so that you can hear your spirit, so you can hear what you need to do for you. Okay. Restraint, exile, places of confinement, jails, mental institution, hospitals. It governs the clandestine affairs, things that you hide from others, okay? Hidden dangers, as well as hidden strengths and weaknesses. So see, what you are afraid to release, because it's all this stuff is hidden. It's in the darkness, like I said earlier, the comfort. It's where you go to hide, okay? There is often a need for dedication and to lead a meaningful life. Thus, it also deals with charity, sympathy, and public welfare. Okay, the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and it used to be ruled by Jupiter. Okay, and some level of Neptune. So all of this is about the dream space as well. It's going to tap you deeper into your dream energy, okay, and allow you to really surface into a space where you need to surface into. So let your dreams, come alive. Make sure that when you are waking up in the morning, move your phone far away from where you sleep. So that when you wake up, whatever your dreams are, write them down, okay? Start journaling your dreams for the rest of this Pisces season. It's going to be very important to how structured you allow yourself to be. There's messages in your dreams, but if you are grabbing your phone as soon as you wake up, you zapping your dreams, okay? You're giving them over to the internet. Beyonce's internet is zapping your dreams, okay? So push them off, push the phone off so you can start to write out, you know what I'm saying, what it is that you need to write. So even get you a little notepad, you can even get something as small as this. It ain't got to be big. Get your little notepad, put it beside the bed with a pen. So as soon as you wake up, write down the keywords and things that you saw. You saw a bluebird, or you saw octopus. I don't know. Whatever it is that's in your dream that's coming up, write those things down and go and research them. If you're seeing numbers, numerology is coming up. Understand that your ancestors also use Pisces, okay? Why? Because it's the end. Pisces is where we go to die. It's one of the places where we go to die. Scorpio, we go to die too, but Pisces, we go to die. It's the end, right? It's where we are wrapping up things. So because that is, whatever is coming down the pipeline of your dreams is giving you indications of what your ancestors are saying to you, okay? All right. So let's get into, we're wrapping it up now, right? So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about was the ritual process, right? Because it is the release, it is the karmic energy, right? I'll pull this back up. Because it does represent karma, right? The beginning of this placement has a lot to do with forgiveness. I'm going to keep saying that, okay? Because I want you guys to understand why forgiveness is so important. It's so important because in order to release the karmic energy, you have to forgive. Forgiveness is not necessarily to remove the experience of what happened. Did it happen to you? Absolutely, it happened. But if you don't release the energy to it, it grows and festers into other things. The things that you are dealing with right now in your energy, your vibration, lack of money, lack of communication, bad relationships, bad friendships, whatever your issue is, okay? You know what your issues is. I don't have to call those out. Whatever your issues are, they exist in that space because so do your bloodline, okay? Your mama, your daddy, your grandmama, your granddaddy, your aunties, your uncles, your nieces, your nephews, all of y'all are carrying these markers, okay? And because y'all are carrying these markers, these are things that's going to grow. So if alcoholism runs in your family, it's the reason why it runs in your family, okay? It's been passed down generational, and nobody has forgiven the energy or forgiven the reason why alcoholism came into the bloodline, because everybody keeps just duplicating it, just doing it. Well, my mama did it, so I did it, so, you know, this is just what it is. No, that ain't just what it is. You have responsibility, right? That's what we said Saturn is for. Saturn is the responsibility, right? It's the discipline. So it's going to take you having to forgive in order to let this happen, in order to let this loose and release this from the bloodline. So everything that you do today in this ritual or for the next couple of days in your ritual is not just removing it from you, it's removing it from the 7 generations behind you and 7 generations in front of you. That's just how powerful you are. Stop not feeling like that you are. You are extremely powerful. Keep in mind that in order for you to even be born, in 1 tablespoon of sperm is 3 billion sperm. Okay, 1 tablespoon, 3 billion. You are the one out of that 3 billion that made it. Okay, so if you made it, the work has already been done. Now all you have to do is walk in it. Okay, so ain't no such thing as I can't do it or I don't know what. It's just you being focused. Focus, just like you did to get to that egg and outbeat everything else. It's the same thing, okay? But when you do release this energy, you're not just releasing it for you. You're releasing it for every soul that's attached to you in the now, in the past, present, and future, okay? That's why this transit is so important. That's why this is one of the biggest transit that you will deal with in your lifetime, because you are the ancestor that came back to do this. How beautiful is that? So that's the reason why nobody before you has done it, because it wasn't, they didn't write the contract to do it, but you did. That's why you're here right now on this call, because you said, I want that responsibility. I want to go back and do it because my family is struggling. I don't want my children to suffer. Let me go back in and do that. So since you signed up to do it, here we are. Here we are in this space, and now it's time for you to step into that, okay? So the energy that is going to take is forgiveness. So let me give y'all an example of what I'm talking about as far as the ritual is concerned, right? So this is just a little bit of the screenshot that I sent yesterday morning to my family, my core family. So my mama, my dad, my brother, my nieces, I have 3 of them, and my daughter, okay, and my sister-in-law. We're all on the thread. We have a little family thread that we talk about. We want to take trips and do certain things. I'm sure everybody has that, you know what I'm saying? And so what I did was, you know, I woke up in gratitude. That's one of the beautiful things that has been going on for me since I've been doing this cleanse for 7 days. I've been having immense gratitude when I've been waking up, you know what I'm saying? And instead of me rushing off into my day, I've been sitting in it and allowing myself to stew in the vibration of that. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was when I sent the message out, I asked for forgiveness. Now, it don't mean that some of the things that I have not said to them, I did it out of love. I really wanted them to be better. I really had great intentions on the things that I said to them, but it does not mean that I didn't hurt them. Okay, we always worried about people hurting us and what they did to us, but you're not sitting down for 1 second and thinking about the words of what you said to somebody else and that impact. This is how you're going to get forgiveness. You can't get something that you're not willing to first ask for. If you want forgiveness, if you want this bloodline to be healed, ask for forgiveness. Just do it, okay? And in doing so, what happens in the result of it, right? So of course, and let me say this too, because I know a lot of y'all are probably saying, oh, but my family ain't into astrology. Mine ain't either. My entire family, all Christians, all of them. I'm the only one that's not. So you don't have no excuse there either, right? Because y'all can see, even in this, I still gave them a little bit of what's going on. And they expect that from me. They know I'm going to say something about astrology, all right? This is my life. This is my day-to-day life. But I wanted them to understand that this is what's going on. And in order for us to get this healing, in order for us to get this and heal together, what I'm asking for is forgiveness. If I've ever hurt them or ever made them feel like they were not loved by me, or I said the wrong things. And this was just the beginning of the post, right? The post was really long that I sent, because I started off this way, but then I went to each individual person and I addressed them individually. And I said, please forgive me please forgive me for this. Mom and daddy, forgive me for some of the stuff I've said to y'all. I have just, even though I felt like I did it out of love, right? That don't mean love don't hurt, right? And if I know and can be honest with myself and say that I've said some things and done some things that may have hurt people, then I know that's going to only open the door for them to do the same thing, which is reflection. That's what forgiveness is about. You asking for forgiveness is going to open a person's heart for them to reflect on ways in which they have hurt you. They have maybe said something to you. So in order for you to get the forgiveness, you have to first ask for it. Before somebody can come to you and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, or I'm sorry that I did that. How about you ask for forgiveness for your part in it? You know how they always say, we love to call our exes or the people in our past narcissists and all that kind of stuff, but we never ask ourselves, what did we do to draw in the narcissist behavior? That's because we got a little narcissist in us too. Everybody do. Okay, so you can't deal with that type of energy unless there's something in you, a vibration that's in you that's drawing that, so you can heal it. Okay, so recognize that from this message that I sent to my family, right? I ask that you release these hurts and pains from our bloodline so that we as a family can be healthier, stronger, emotionally, mentally, and financially. Okay, I forgive and release all negative experiences I've ever had with my family, and I open my heart to more love, abundance with you all, with each and every one of them. So that was just a general message. And then after that, again, I went into each individual one of them, letting them know of me asking for forgiveness. I didn't need a reply. The reply wasn't necessary. I'm doing this for me. See, forgiveness is about you. It ain't about everybody else. That's the issue. We do so much stuff for the claps, so much stuff for the praise. How about you do that for yourself? Your releasing of this energy is all you need. You don't, if whether or not they respond or not is not important. But if they do respond, bravo, you're doing the work. Okay. If they don't respond, bravo, you're still doing the work. So let's look at a little bit of what happened as a result. Okay. That was my message. My mama came in right on immediately. Right immediately. She didn't even waste no time. You know what I'm saying? I accept, I agree, I receive, I release all things that stand in the way of my family progression. And baby, she typed it in all caps. You know, y'all know what that means. All caps is all power. You know what I'm saying? And most love, I'm thankful God gave me you. You have been a star in my and our lives that has shined so bright. It could not be hidden. She went on to tell me how she loved me and she, you know, give me the, you know, the forgiveness or whatever. And then told me that, you know, also offer her forgiveness. Forgive me for the times that I may not have been able to hear you or whatever the things that I may have done to you. She put herself in that same position. Why? Because I wasn't afraid to do it first. See, some of us don't get forgiveness because you don't ask for it. You don't put yourself in that state. You're too busy waiting on somebody else to go first. How about you go first? How about you apologize first and then wait for that to show up? Okay. And if it doesn't show, even if you apologize and it doesn't show up, you should feel freer because of that. Okay. So that's my mom's a little part of her message. Then my mama came in. Then my daughter came in. Okay. I apologize. I'm just getting back from school, but mama, I love you too from the bottom of my heart. I'm glad we have a strong enough bond to communicate about things like our trauma and ways we can always better our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Her message went on into the forgiveness and mama, I love you. And, you know, mama, we're going to get through anything, right? You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Her also recognizing what maybe sometimes where she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do as a child. Okay. From that, then my brother came in. My brother's in Aries too. His birthday is April 5th. You know what I'm saying? So, and we are 5 years apart, but my mom raised us because we had our birthday was 10 days apart. Our birthdays was all together. So we will always say that we twins that were 5 years too late. You know what I'm saying? But just the energy, he came right on in saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledging the energy of the family power. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we transform this energy and we're merging through this. You know what I'm saying? He came in, same thing. He went from that part to also talking to his daughters, okay, about the forgiveness and all those things. My sister-in-law, you know what I'm saying? Hi, family. This is a very powerful thread. I'm so excited to see and feel all the love shared today. I love each and every one of you. To my daughters, please forgive mommy for all the pain and issues that I've caused. This right here alone brought tears to my eyes because my nieces are dealing with things right now. They're dealing with their sexuality. They're dealing with a whole lot of stuff that they feel like their parents can't hear them. And they come to me because they feel like, you know what, Titi, you know, she definitely going to listen to us. And Titi wild anyway. So she definitely going to hear us and not judge us. So the fact that they have to come to me and they can't come to their parents, that hurts. It hurts them. Because when they've tried to go to their parents, the words that have come out of my brother and my sister's mouth sometimes has caused hurt and pain. So they haven't been able to be them full selves because of this situation, right? But my sister-in-law went on that. Same with my brother. Like I said, his thread went into that as well. My nieces came right on in, 2 of them. I don't know if the other one responded because I didn't even go back into the text yet. But my young, this is the baby. You know what I'm saying? She appreciates the words of encouragement and the wisdom. Love has always been her thing. She goes into that space, recognizing that this is what it's going to take for our family to move forward, which is forgiveness and healing of our individual self, as well as my middle niece. You know what I'm saying? We do have to all let go of the pain and suffering so that we can grow individually and as a family. You know what I'm saying? Understand that it works. It works because I put myself in a state of forgiveness first. And because I did that, it automatically took down the defenses. It automatically pierced into the heart to allow you to be open up enough for you to say, well, you know what? I've done some things to you. Or I've done some things too. You know what I'm saying? That's happening. Now, my dad was the one who I was wanting to see. I didn't know whether or not my dad had got it because the type of phone that he has sometimes, I'm not really clear. So I wound up talking to him and I was like, Dad, did you get the message? And he was like, I did. And I have been really in heavy thought about it since I got it. You know what I'm saying? And really processing it. And, you know, I'm not the best texter, you know, or whatever, to text y'all back or whatever, but having the conversation that I need to have are necessary. That's enough for me. Even if he didn't say that, it still would have been enough for me, because I know inside, my dad's a Pisces. Ain't no way he's not feeling this energy. Ain't no way he's not opening up to allowing his heart to heal and forgive. My dad got some real deep-seated issues as it relates to his family. My grandfather, my mom's dad, and my dad's dad were both alcoholics. They both died drinking. Okay, my brother is still now battling alcoholism back and forth, and I'm so proud of him because he's doing great. You know what I'm saying? My nieces, my brother's daughters are all dealing with alcoholism. This stuff don't just get out on its own. You have to get it out. And the way you have to get it out is to forgive it and to release it. So with this energy, I'm opening the door so that my father can release his daddy. Okay, my grandfather was very physically abusive to my grandmother. He beat my grandma. Okay, my mom's mom and her dad, they fought too. So this abuse of alcoholism and violence and all this stuff runs rampant in my family. And to get it out, we gotta communicate. We have to say, I'm sorry. We have to say, I forgive, I release. It's important to do this. So you don't have to, because you may have family members, maybe your family members are transition. Maybe you're not as close with them and you feel comfortable with them enough to actually reach out to them. You don't have to do that, but you do have to reach out to them within yourself. So you do have to sit down. That list that I told you guys to compile of the people that you need to deal with, you need to also write letters. Okay, if you don't have the confidence or you don't have the emotional fortitude to reach out to them, then I need you to have the emotional energy internally for you to do this on your own. I need you to write letters. Okay, part of your ritual is going to be that, either to reach out to your family members. You can do a text, you can do a call, you can do whatever you need to do. If they are transition, it does not matter. The body does not dictate whether or not we have a relationship with people or not. You know, you got pictures, right? You got a picture, put the picture up, have the conversation, offer forgiveness, offer release. You know what I'm saying? If your mama wasn't there in your life or she couldn't be there in her life, give her compassion. So this is also what I'm gonna send to y'all too. So this is also one of the things that you can do tonight, right? So I want you guys to spend some, just a few moments in your spaces of alone, right? If you can. You can lie on the floor, lie on the bed. So you can do this before you go to bed, and you can do it how best as you can do it, okay? But I want you to first get into a deep breath, get into a deep seat of breathing, you know what I'm saying? When you get into that deep seat of your breath and honoring your breath, paying attention to your breath, you know what I'm saying? And you like tuned everything else out, I want you to go into the spaces of forgiving yourself. Literally saying that. I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to myself and others, because you've done it. Whether you are not a goody two-shoe, you've done it, whether you believe it or not, okay? The purpose of you first getting into this space of releasing the judgment from yourself is so that when it's time for you to go into the spaces of allowing other people that same energy, you can recognize that you've done it too. Okay, you've been that person. And if you've been that person too, that should show you that we're all human. Like I said earlier, we're all spiritual entities having a human experience. This body is what makes you human, but there's spirit inside of this. And the spirit inside of this is what's having the hardest time, because you're not letting go of those things. Okay, so if you are not able to reach out to these people for one way or the other, meaning you don't want to communicate with them, or you're not feeling as strong enough to do that, you can do this within your own practice. When you write these letters, when you get through writing out whatever letter you need to write out, then say, I forgive you for making those mistakes. I forgive you for my pain and suffering. I forgive you for the things that you've done to me, right? Go into the spaces of digging deep into how forgiveness feels for you. How would it feel for you to hear that, right? You can actually get into because you're going to be in meditation form anyway, you can actually get into what the person visual looks like. You can actually see their mouth moving. You can actually hear them saying, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you. I wanted to be there for you, but I couldn't because of my own A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. But offering that energy, is it probably going to make you a little bit angry? It could. Is it probably going to make you cry and break into something because the abandonment energy is going to come up? It probably is, but that's what you need. That's where the healing is. Okay. If you find yourself struggling, where you get to the point to where you are now offering forgiveness and it's not working for you, then go back up and go back into that. I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. So you can realize that we are all having this experience. We're all together in this. Okay. So from that, like I said, if you can't reach out, you write these letters, you offer the forgiveness, you put your state in that. I want you to also burn these letters, okay? If you're writing the letters, burn these letters and release them, okay? You can burn them. You can also submerge them into water to also activate that Pisces water energy too. But I definitely want you to use the fire element because fire is the release, okay? So construct your letters, it can be as simple as person's name, I forgive you. That's it. It don't have to be long drawn out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to find excuses for why you can't tap into that. Okay. Do as much as you need to do to release the karmic energy, especially around your family members, especially around your parents. Why? Because you are your parents. You are half your mama, half your daddy. So whatever resistance that you're having to letting them go and letting them free is also where you're going to find the resistance inside of yourself. Okay. That's also where your blocks are. Okay. And then tomorrow, I want y'all to ground. After you do all this work, this heavy work tonight, or do this heavy work tomorrow, whenever you choose to do it, then I want you to go into nature and I want you to give it up. Okay, ground, putting your feet in the ground and taking deep breaths and just releasing it all. I release it all back to you, universe. I release it all back to you, God. You can have it all. I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? The experience is over for me. I'm ushering in the newness for me. From this day moving forward, I'm no longer carrying those things. I'm no longer carrying the pains and the hurts and the issues that these people, that my family, my mama, my daddy, my brother, my sister, my auntie, my uncle, my friends, my co-workers, my child, I don't care who did it. From this day moving forward, let it go. Because if you let it go, you don't have to worry about the spaces that's going to come after that. The energy that you need is going to show up for you. Watch it and see. Okay? Y'all got me? Let me see where y'all at. Is y'all hearing me? Are y'all okay over there? Absolutely. Great. Okay. Yes. Understood. Good. Yes. Great. I'm glad you shared some tears. That's that water we need. Okay. Shed them tears. Don't hold it back. When I tell y'all I cried, stupid cries yesterday morning when I was writing them messages out, baby, I was crying and sobbing. And then the part I didn't tell y'all, my mama has been fighting with my daddy every day of my life. On that message, not only did she say she forgive me and asking us also for her forgiveness, she said, and I also forgive my husband. That right there bust my whole world open. Because my mama has been fighting my daddy, y'all, for so long. She has been fighting him. My dad has been fighting her too. And that little space of saying forgiveness has allowed my parents to have a new relationship. How do I know it? Because when I talked to them last night for 2 hours, the lightness in my father's voice, the lightness in my mother's voice of her saying, I'm so happy that I'm able to tap into this. This is the reason why sometimes those of us who consider ourselves healers, are born into dysfunctional families. Because the first healing is within yourself so that you can show your parents the way. Yes, you are here to reparent your parents. Some of y'all are mad that your parents couldn't be your parents, but you are your parents. You are the ones that are supposed to parent your parents. Let's not see your face frowning up. I didn't see it before now, but I can see it now. Okay? We're here to give them the answers. You have the answers. And then guess what? Your children, or if you are afforded to have kids in your life, they're also going to help you too. They're going to be the part of the energy that you need to usher this in. Okay. So it ain't just you doing it for them, but understanding the generation that they was born in, they didn't have the resources and the tools. So free them so that you can free yourself and free your bloodline. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Going once, going twice. I know Comfort said she wanted to share her testimonial with us.
I don't got no question. Y'all gonna have to see the titties today. So just
we like titties, baby. We like titties in this room. Thank you for the titties. Right. Thank you for the nurturing that you are bringing into here. We appreciate you. So yes, ma'am.
What's
your testimony?
Man, that just was so good for me. Because I'm gonna tell two things. So I had been thinking about how I gaslight my daughter these last few days. And I was like, I need to stop doing that because it's going to start making her doubt herself when I really want her to trust herself. And so that was something I had to really start thinking about. And even before we got on this call, I had been thinking about apologizing to her and how that feels in my body. And I had also been thinking about my relationship with my sister. Me and my sister, we two different people. We're different. But I just need to apologize to her, and just accept the differences because it just is what it is. And not my sister on this call. My sister's on here, but my older sister. But 2 weeks ago, I was at the grocery store and my ex-boyfriend Antoine and his girlfriend Dove approached me, and girl, I know, yeah. And I really loved how I showed up because I had always thought I would have a tremble in my heart, but I was really big. And I looked at them and I was like, y'all don't shrunk. I got smaller. And so when you said what you said about the 12th house, it's like in my life right now, so many people keep saying, like, I'm so thankful for connecting with you. I'm so thankful you're in my life. And I forget that people notice me because I think I don't be noticing myself. And so, woo, child. So,
yes, that's exactly what that 12th house is. Yes, you are not noticing. You're so used to shrinking yourself in spaces to where that's been your MO. But now that you are, and that's why I'm so grateful for you coming to Wild Women Worship. And I'm so grateful for where you just been on this journey of your psilocybin and the mushroom therapy, because I just see you getting bigger and bigger and confronting these things that you've been hiding from. So, okay, let me shut up. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah. So I had these two people blocked, and I got them blocked for good reason. And they've been asking me to unblock them. So be mindful. These people have contacted me through other people, like, Comfort, Antoine wants you to unblock him. And I haven't, because I needed that separation from him to, so I could hear my own voice without the entanglement of what they say in my mind. I needed to do a physical ritual of blocking energy so I could hear my own thoughts. And so now that we were talking about this, and I'm like, I'm about to go up. I'm at the point where I sit for people for mushroom ceremonies at $500 a person. I'm going up. And the people just running up to give me their money, And I want to unblock him because I forgive him. And that I don't need that attachment to that story. And the ritual has run its course because I know who I am. And I am really starting to come into a full picture of myself and what I'm capable of, and how I can just keep going and learning and holding space for other people to do the same. My business is really about other people seeing themselves, because that's the area in life that I struggle with the most. And I just wanted to share that, because when you said it, it just was like, dang, I got stuff to do for myself, because I know it's going to help my community. From the people that are on this call that my sister, my friend Candace, my best friend Amelia. We all in the same boat. And I just wanted to thank y'all for showing up for me and giving me the space to be myself so I could see myself in your reflection. And I didn't know. I really didn't know. And I want to thank you, Gigi, because those 3 years ago when you came into my life, you gave me a word. And it was stop your worries. Because you got it. You always gonna have it. And I just wanted to say thank you. You know, because I don't be trying to cry. But just today, I'm so grateful. And, you know, I'm going to apologize to the people that I need to apologize to. But I'm also going to thank them for letting me see that I am no different. That I'm a narcissist too. I can manipulate like the best of them. And I deserve forgiveness because I'm a first give it to myself. And then I'm going to give it to you. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us and your tears. You know what I'm saying? Whether you know it or not. And this is the thing about being intuitive. There are people on this call that have been stifling their tears. Okay. They over here holding them in, not wanting to cry. Right. And because we have, especially as women of color, we haven't been given the permission to do that. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep going. We got stuff to do. We got to go on to help this person and help that person. So sometimes we don't even give ourselves the time and the energy to just clear and to purge. So thank you for purging for us. Thank you for sharing those tears so that the people here that have been holding and stifling that energy up can release that energy. Okay, can hold that in. So thank you so much. And yes, what I said on day one, baby, I still believe today. Okay, that ain't changed. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So I will always be reminding you of just how big you are, because baby, I only surface in spaces with bigness. Okay, so if you around me, if you here with me, we all big. Okay, and I don't want nothing less. No dimming of no shine. I want bigness because it's a reflection of me. So we're all reflecting each other. So I love you so much and thank you so much for sharing that with me. Okay, and we're sharing that with us. And just look at me taking it all. I want to absorb it all to myself. Thank you for sharing it with me. No, share it with us. Okay, anybody else want to share before we close out? Anybody else got anything to say? Going once? Going twice? 3 times a lady? Y'all sure? Do y'all have any questions about what you need to do? Are you clear on your homework, what you're studying, and clear on what you're going to be doing tonight and tomorrow? You can just type yes in the chat room. Yes.
Hold on, I got a question.
Okay.
Are you going to be dropping? Hello, being late as hell. Are you dropping this playback tonight so I can, kind of get up to speed?
Yes, I will.
Thank you so much. That's all I got.
It may not be in this instant because I'm finna really go from here into my ritual for the next hour.
Oh, I know.
If you can give me at least 2 hours to let it all render, I would definitely make sure that it's available tonight. Oh yes, I will. Thank you for bringing that back up. So Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay. So the energy surrounding the Chiron placements, whatever your energy is in that. So because you right now are having a Chiron hit, then a lot of this energy of old stagnant energy, old things that have wounded you before is coming out. Okay. So you may just feel a little bit irritated. Okay. Because of that vibration. So know that Chiron is called the wounded healer. So meaning it's going to pierce your wounds or remind you of your wounds so that you can heal. Okay. So I want you to also study that. When you study your other placements for tonight and tomorrow, also make sure you study your Chiron too. Okay. It is a good placement. When I mean good placement, it's irritating as hell. Okay. I mean, like when it comes around, It ain't one that you definitely like to deal with, but the aftermath of it, the healing that comes from when your Chiron reveals all of your childhood wounds or wherever your wounds are, is going to give you the clarity, okay? Got it? Yes. All right, so everybody know what they got to do? Great, good. I love you guys so much. Thank y'all so much for being here with me yet again. I'm going to send y'all the playback, so just in case you need to go back through it as you are studying, you will have that. But definitely make sure that you're doing your forgiveness and you're releasing tonight, and tomorrow go to nature, okay? Get out, let it go, release it, let it loose. We don't want to deal with this no more, right? We're done. Are we? Another thing I need y'all to type. Are we done with the generational trauma?